In the 30-plus years David Spence has been our meteorologist, no one has ever seen him without his mustache. But tomorrow, during our news at 6, David will be shaving his stache for Movember. It's his first time participating in the campaign, and as Kathy Lee explains, his reason for doing it is very personal.
Alberta. Thanks, Ken. Ken Newman's just poking in there.
He's chatty.
Those people sure had a lot of fun with their shampoo, didn't they?
Real.
Degrees. Have a good weekend, everybody.
And just plain hilarious.
Going to last for very long. We have a lot of.
David Spence has been CTV Calgary's beloved meteorologist since the 1980s. From fashion to hairstyles, many things have changed over the years, except for one. Spence's stash.
Has your wife seen you without it?
No.
No. Have your kids?
No.
Lanny McDonald, Burt Reynolds, Ron Burgundy, the Mo under Spence's nose rivals the greats. But real soon, after 30 years.
This Mo's gotta go.
Yep, it's going. All in support of Movember.
And that sun's going to stick around all day tomorrow.
But what many don't know is behind Spence's famous lip rug.
We're at 10 degrees in Calgary now.
And the bright smile. A scary reality. He was diagnosed with intermediate risk prostate cancer 2.5 years ago.
And that meant it did require treatment. It wasn't high risk, it wasn't going to kill me, but at the same time, something had to be done.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer to affect Canadian men. 1 in 8 will be diagnosed in their lifetime. Last year, $24 million was raised in Canada through Movember, and the goal to bring awareness to men's health continues to expand.
And because of Movember, they went and got checked, and it turned out that they did have prostate or testicular cancer, and it saved their lives.
The very reason Spence acted right away, even though he waited to share the news with his CTV family and viewers.
I needed some time with my own thoughts, and also by not telling people for a while, I could escape my thoughts and deal with people and not have to discuss it.
But now, he feels it's important to get the word out. Early detection gave him a second chance at life.
All right, we have good care quality, and we'll take a closer look at the forecast now.
So that he
I'm personally not terrified by cucumbers.
Can continue to do what he does best.
Yeah, always good to bring in new, fresh talent. Absolutely.
Don't say that.
Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
And David is here with us now. This is such a personal story for you, David.
Yeah.
You mentioned in there that you didn't want to talk about it earlier at the time because then everybody wants to talk about it and then you can't really escape it.
Right. I kept it pretty quiet. In the last 2.5 years, up until last week, only about 24 people knew about this. And that includes the team of doctors that treated me. And again, the reason was I just wasn't ready to talk about it. And it was nice to be able to come to work and talk with people, interact with people who didn't know about it so that I didn't have to think about it for those few hours that I was at work and not at home.
Understandable. So how intense was the treatment?
Actually, it wasn't that bad. I had something called brachytherapy, which is a radiation treatment in which they insert seeds of radioactive iodine directly into the prostate permanently, and over the course of several months, the radiation from those seeds attacks the cancer cells in the prostate. There's very little pain that comes out of there, but there are some side effects, and that perhaps affected me a little bit more than having those seeds in the prostate itself. Of course, there are other things like to prepare for that procedure, you have to do it like you prepare for a colonoscopy. That's no fun.
The cleanse.
The cleanse. that was no fun at all. And the biopsy that I had prior to the procedure was very uncomfortable as well.
Okay, so why did you decide that this was the year you wanted to be a part of Movember?
Well, the Movember people have been contacting me for the past couple of years. They didn't know about this. They were just contacting me here. Here's a guy on TV with a mustache.
A famous mustache.
Let's have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
And when I told them that, hey, you know what? I do want to do this, and there's a reason behind it. They were all for it. I was all for it. I said no to them last year because I wasn't ready, but this year the time was right. Okay,
so as we've been saying, tomorrow during the 6 o'clock show, the famous mustache comes off.
It's getting real, isn't it?
It's getting real, and then from Saturday, you start from scratch to grow it back again.
Yes, I'll grow it back through the month of November, and hopefully a week from now, you won't even notice a difference.
Well, we want to know what your kids think when you go home on Friday night with no mustache.
Yeah. It's Friday night. They're teenagers. Nobody will be home. They won't know.
Who's that guy? Who's that guy that just came in?